All right, guys, welcome to episode 10 of Owlcast. Today we have Sonia Backstrom as our featured guest, and Basil Farooq and I are going to be hosting this episode. So to start off, Sonia, I know you've lived in another country for an extended period of your life. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I lived in Sweden for 3 years. I moved there in the middle of in the middle of 8th grade. And for the transition was pretty hard at first. I was in a Swedish school, which was really hard. I didn't know any of the language before I moved, and my parents didn't speak the language either. And I didn't know how long I would stay, which was kind of hard. But after half a year, I decided, I made this decision on my own to transfer to an international school, so taught in English, which was much better. For academically.
So you were in just a public school or something in Sweden at
all
first?
Schools are public.
Okay.
So there's private school, the first school I was at, the Swedish school was a weird Swedish, it was a private Swedish school, but it's not private school.
You're not paying.
No, you're not paying anything.
But it was completely taught in Swedish. So it was so that's what most Swedish high schoolers would go to, right?
It was an alternative school.
Okay.
So their education system is they have normal schools, and then if you can have private schools, but they're still free.
Okay.
So it was a private school, but it's free.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then I transferred to an international school, and then because it's not like the traditional education, and the international school wasn't their traditional education either, because that was the international baccalaureate program.
Oh, okay.
The middle years program. Yeah. So I did that for a year, for ninth grade, and that was much better.
Yeah.
Academically and stuff.
Okay. So that was halfway through your first school that you decided to transfer, or was it after?
I was at the school, but I moved in the middle of 8th grade. So second half of 8th grade, I finished 8th grade at that school, and then I moved to an international school. I was there, and I graduated, and then I went to. It was the same school basically, but the high school for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was it was much better over time.
So was that your first experience with diverse communities, or did you have when you grew up before 8th grade, where did you live and what kind of a setting was that?
So I was born in Vermont, and then I lived in Maine for most of my life. Maine is not very diverse. I think it was a small town, so the high school was from 5 different towns, and there were 500 kids in high school. So it was small.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So a small town.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of thing.
Where in Maine were you?
Mid-coast, so Rockport, Camden area.
Oh yeah, Rockport, Camden. I don't know. Augusta's the capital, right?
Yeah.
And where do the majority of people live?
Along the coast of Maine,
on
the coast, yeah.
So you're mid-coast, so that's middle of the coast of Maine.
Exactly.
Okay.
Most people are lobster farmers.
There's a lot of lobster farmers, yeah.
Oh,
no, but it's really good. Oh it's a special though, because there's it's the bay that I lived in, because I lived my house was a mile from the ocean, I lived right next to the ocean. So cool. It was the bay that I lived on was it's the biggest bay I think east of Florida, I think. So
really?
It's a huge and there's tons of islands.
What about Cape Cod? Is that not very big in Massachusetts?
Okay, never mind. Maybe not Cape Cod. There's something special about it. But anyway, there's tons of islands, which is kind of
Maine does have that mitten thing, right? Is that the bay you're talking about?
No, because it's in the middle.
Is that? No, I'm thinking of Michigan.
Can we not go into the geography without a map?
Okay.
Oh my god. Maine looks like a face. It looks like a silhouette of a person, right?
It just kind of
Maine
it has a nose.
Maine is a pretty big state.
Maine is.
Yeah, it's a decent size. Yeah. So sailing is really. I don't know where we're going off on. Yeah.
My bad.
No, you're good.
This could be bloopers.
Everything in this podcast.
Everything is a blooper.
That
should be the name of the podcast.
That's our motto. Everything is a blooper. That would really get.
Life is a blooper.
Life.
Oh, that's good. Don't take yourself seriously. Yeah, that's good. Especially you, Basil.
I know that really characterizes who you are.
Yeah, we need to come up.
You guys have helped me come up with my vision for life now.
I know.
Life is lobster. So how good was the lobster?
Good.
Did McDonald's actually sell lobster rolls? Don't they do that? Isn't that a thing?
Never eaten at McDonald's.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, that says a lot about me.
What about before your
constantly.
gluten intolerance was revealed to the
What?
world? Did you never have McDonald's before that either?
No, I've never
it's
had
because-
McDonald's in my entire life.
Is there a
McDonald's
reason
is
for
pretty
that?
healthy.
My mom is a health freak. Like,
Oh.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, what types of things would she make you do? Like eat your carrots to get better vision?
yeah, but like candy, never saw candy in my house.
Never saw
Never
candy. Candy? Or when you went to your friend's
Okay,
house,
for
maybe?
Easter, when I got candy,
Mhm.
it was the healthy version of candy.
Uh-huh.
Sold at like Whole Foods or like like
Yeah,
how they
yeah.
make
Organic. So it was actually like candy though? It wasn't like she was giving you granola bars or something?
No, it was candy, but that was Easter.
People
That's the
do
only
that.
time we got that. Like we get chocolate chips, I guess, and like.
I'm gonna
cookies
call
and stuff.
Steve Jobs out right now. Steve, I know you can hear me. I went to your house 5 years ago, I would say, with some middle school friends to trick or treat, and you gave us Odwalla bars. The bougiest thing to give out. I'm pretty sure those things are like $5 each too, so I appreciate that, but my lord.
got Odwalla.
Odwalla, they're not even candy. There's rumor has it that he gives out like one free iPod like every Halloween, like he'll just throw it in a random bag, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
doubt it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so no candy.
Oh, my mom was
Organic
health
candy.
freak. I mean, because in Maine we lived on 40 acres,
Mhm.
so we had a lot of. My mom like gardened all summer, like she liked to do
That's
that.
awesome.
We had so many gardens. Like
So is that
she
all you did
literally
for fun?
grew enough carrots to last the entire
Oh
year.
my god, the entire winter.
Like we had a
the Maine
special
winter.
thing in the basement, like a
Yeah.
room, a cold room. How you store the like the
Yeah, it's like a natural refrigerator, right?
yeah,
That's so cool.
like you keep the window open. There's this whole like
Wait, so was that what you would do in your free time? Just help garden?
yeah, I'd help.
Yeah,
garden,
would you
yeah,
garden? So?
yeah.
Gardening is actually, it seems really therapeutic. My mom does
Yeah,
it
it
a lot.
is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what kinds of
She
things did
really
you
likes
do
it.
in the garden?
I mean, she literally gardened everything,
Like, what did you do? What did you help out with?
everything.
The
Like?
water girl.
Okay, we don't know.
Oh, you
I've never lived on a farm,
like in
so...
the spring you plant the. In the spring before, because Maine's like cold.
Mm-hmm.
So in the spring, a lot of times we make plant things in these little tiny things that aren't in the garden, like
Yeah.
the little I forget what they're called.
I know what you're talking
But you
about.
fill 'em with
It's
saplings?
before you transplant them.
Yeah,
into
and then you
something,
transplant them when it's warmer.
right? Yeah.
So we do that, and then like you'd plant them.
Oh, would you put those in like a greenhouse or something to keep them warm?
We'd put them in the house.
In the house. Okay. Hey, I love it.
Just
I love
imagine
it.
my house
Just
like
living with a bunch of plants. It's nice. Nature.
no joke, no
Explains a
joke.
lot.
Yeah.
Whoa. So there's like a harvest season and things like that. And then you were like, what, was it a legitimate farm or was it like a family garden? Like,
No, it's a family garden.
would
Like
you
we
grow
didn't
all
sell
your food on
anything. No, we went to the food store too, but like
Oh, okay.
it was more of like a hobby that went very far.
That's cool.
Like yeah.
I mean, 40 acres, you can do a lot of
I mean, she didn't
development.
farm the whole 40 acres.
Oh, okay. that was
So what happened in
one
the rest of
person
it?
Like
farming
maybe
40
one, not
acres.
even one. I don't even know.
Probably not one.
Yeah, yeah. The 1 acre is pretty big,
Yeah.
but she had like
Wait, what
Quite
did
a-
you do in the rest of the 40 acres?
there's trees.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, 40 acres is a lot.
Yeah.
How much
I mean,
is
I lived
an
in
acre
one.
is like a football field around?
I don't know. I mean, it's big.
It's big.
It's
I think
big.
it's like it's like bigger than
Like it took a while to walk from one end to the other.
Were there parts of your yard that you like hadn't explored?
I explored most of the woods because we had like an actual yard and then we had woods.
Mhm.
And the cool thing was in the woods is there's old foundations from I think people left them in like World War I or World War II.
Yeah.
And so we found like old license plate, like an old sewing machine that's completely rusted, like old fashioned, like
That's a
like
little creepy.
bunch of really cool stuff. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Have you heard of these things? This might be like a conspiracy theory, but supposedly, I think it's in like Russia. Every weird thing is in
Yeah.
Russia, but like, yeah.
No
Might have to
judgment.
edit that out. But
Yeah.
I can
but-
see your roots springing out.
What?
Places you lived in.
I haven't lived in Russia before.
No, he's talking about
but,
Texas
like-
and Alabama.
I'm confused. Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I'm a little slow. But today, only today. But yeah, so I think like you're walking through the woods and there's just like staircases in the middle of the woods and nothing else. Like just a foundation and staircases, like little creepy staircases. I'm pretty sure this is a thing. There's like blogs that are dedicated to like people finding these staircases.
Uh-huh.
I've never.
And has anything
like Blair Witch
happened
Project.
near them?
I don't think so. I don't think
Then
it's
what's
like.
the
I don't think they
conspiracy?
say it's like. Well, it might not even be real. It might be like Photoshop or something. But I think the theory is that the staircases and the foundation, like the
Yeah.
foundation of the house is still there, and then it's just like a spiral staircase or like all types of different staircases. those are like the strongest parts of the house or something. So like they stay while the rest of the house gets like fucked up.
I don't see the conspiracy there.
Conspiracy as in like
the house is conspiring against the world.
Hoax, okay, not conspiracy. It's not conspiring. the house is off doing some conspiracy thing. The staircase was like, hell no, I'm not engaged in that. So they're staying around. Yeah, but I don't know. That just sounds.
I won't stand around and be an enabler.
Reminded me of that.
Oh God.
Yeah. You did some sailing too, right?
Yeah. That was fun.
Wait, rowing or sailing?
Sailing. I started when I was like 8. Summer camp. That was so much fun. I think that was one of my favorite things.
2-person sailing or 1-person sailing? Or multiple.
The first boats you start out are 1 person. You can fit another person in when you're really little. Opties.
Okay.
Like they're like 6 feet long. They're tiny. They're like bathtub boats. We call them bathtub boats because they're little. They have a flat bottom, and they're kind of.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you always see the camps like in the movies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're little kid boats, and then you moved up to 420s, which are for 2 people.
420s?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
how long did you sail for?
I mean, I sailed most summers until I was like 15, 14. But the fun thing, like 15, 16, yeah. But the fun thing is that the 420s is you put a harness on, like when it's only when it's windy, and you like stand on the end of the boat, and like you're like butts over the water. Right? Yeah. Like your whole body's over the water.
That's super cool.
To keep the boat flat.
Have you ever been to the what is it? The race in the bay?
Here?
Yeah, I think it happened a couple of years ago. I think they rotate the area. It's like the Team America. You know what I'm talking about? The Oracle team or something. Big regattas.
Yeah. No, I didn't go.
It's like multiple people. But that can get kind of dangerous, right? When you have like big boats.
There's some like really. Oh yeah, there's some really intense intense sailing.
How would you say, how dangerous are like the smaller boats?
I mean, the ones we're sailing aren't that. I mean, if you don't know how to sail, they can be dangerous. Like, I mean, the most dangerous thing on the little boats, I think, is if you don't know how to sail and you're sailing downwind, the boom can switch sides and you can not get like a.
Oh.
Can hit your head.
It just twists around and.
Yeah.
The boom is.
The boom.
The boom
is the metal piece that on the bottom of the sail. So it's just like a metal bar. And it's like at kind of head level. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have a rope attached. That's how you hold the sail, because you have a rope attached to that thing.
And that's how you turn it.
That's how you hold the sail. So you let it in or out, depending on if you're going upwind or downwind.
Oh, the boom is what is. Do you wrap the sail around that too when it's not up? Are we thinking of different things here?
Okay, there's the mast, which is the thing sticking up, and then the boom is a thing like that. Yeah. I think we're thinking of the same thing.
Yeah.
But then the sail's there. The sail's attached to the boom and the mast, which holds it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you have a rope attached to the boom.
Yeah.
That you pull it in and out.
Yeah, okay.
To sail over your
Gotcha.
sailing.
Yeah, it's like a triangle sail. Yeah. Okay, cool.
And the trapeze can be dangerous too. If you capsize and you don't get out, like if the sail goes on top of you.
Yeah.
And you're like caught in.
The trapeze is the harness.
Yeah. If you're caught, it's supposed to come out, but if you're caught or like, I don't know, you could supposedly drown, I guess, if you don't know if you're Yeah.
Yeah. You said you did a little bit of windsurfing too.
That was once.
That sounds cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I want to do that again.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Have you done any other sports?
Yeah.
Like?
Skiing. And then, I mean, like, Maine's hella outdoorsy, so.
So?
Hiking and camping. My family went a lot of camping. The closest thing to team sport I did was cross country.
That's it, yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's a individual sport turned into a team sport.
Turned into a team sport, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do. I know. I wish I did team sport.
Would you say in Maine and Vermont, like the first thing that kids would do, like the go-to like recreational activity was like something in nature?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like so
everyone was super outdoorsy.
Here, I feel like.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are.
Was that before the era of phones?
No.
Like
before smartphones.
People still have phone. Like people. I don't know. Like, everyone I know, they're still.
Did all the kids have phones? And
yeah, a lot of kids have phones. I mean, I didn't, but like all the normal kids did. Yeah.
So you're saying?
Because I went to the same kind of school I went to it's called the Waldorf School. I went to that in Maine.
And in Sweden.
Oh,
for the first. The same type of. It was
the same type of school.
Do you want to tell us about the school?
So, it's a very different approach to learning. It's supposed to be. It's very artsy and like much more like holistic.
Hands-on.
Yeah, hands-on, and like a more holistic approach to learning. So they don't split it up as much into individual subjects. Mm-hmm. Like you have this main lesson block for 2 hours every morning, and like you switch every like month or so what the subject is. Like it could be science or whatever, English or and then there's certain classes you have all the time. But there's a lot more like like we drew so much and we had to write everything by hand. Like there were no computers in the school.
Yeah. So how would you do things like math and like science, like more technical? Would you still do that in like some sort of like interdisciplinary activity or something?
Yeah, I think they probably made it a bit more interdisciplinary than like like we didn't have textbooks either.
You didn't?
No. So yeah, that's a big difference. We didn't have textbooks. That's a big
difference, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think...
We had a math workbook that was called Making Math Meaningful.
That's so
that was
funny.
the closest.
Would you say you like learned a lot too, or like you got something out of that
yeah,
kids
I think
who went to traditional schools didn't?
Yeah, I think so. I think too, just like an appreciation for nature, because we spent a lot of time outside too.
Yeah, that's really cool actually.
Was there anything else that was peculiar about that school?
What are you referring to? I know you have something in mind.
For example, you know, perhaps there's different ways to call attendance. You know.
I'm not in on this. The world.
I'm not gonna do it. In the morning when we came to school, so like you'd all sit at your desks, and our teacher would be like, would sing like your name, are you here? And then you would say yes, like Mr. Club.
You'd sing it. Oh my gosh! Wait, just like was this just one class or like?
This was every single year for 7 years.
Really?
Could you give us a demo?
Yeah, can you?
No.
I can be the teacher. What is like? You sing it?
You
like,
sing it,
Sonia, are you here? Do they change the beats?
No, it's the same like thing.
It's the same melody.
It's the same melody.
Gosh.
We had to learn poems too. Like every time.
What was the point of that? What was the purpose of that?
That I don't. There was a purpose.
Okay.
We had to memorize poems too.
Okay.
And like we did plays every year, and we'd always go on camping trips too.
That's cool.
That was
Would
really
you say you got
twice
pretty
a year.
close to people because of these different activities?
I don't know so much. It's the activities as much as. By the time I was in 7th grade, there were only 5 other people in my class.
Oh my! This is literal like Little House on the Prairie, right? You take
yeah.
It's like a 1-room school.
Yeah, it's a tiny school.
Wow.
Tiny school.
Why? Did people just drop out because they didn't
so
like
the biggest my class, the biggest. Oh, it's private school. So like.
Yeah.
And Maine's economy's, not really.
Oh, is it not popping?
No.
I mean, it's like stable.
Their population is. No, I wouldn't call it stable.
Oh.
They're not. I don't know.
What's the main industry is like seafood, lobster,
but which isn't a big.
And timber maybe.
There's not that much
and
there.
Household farming.
And is there like a snow industry, like skiing and stuff?
The ski industry, yeah, but like there's not that many. There's like 3 or 4 mountains, so it's not.
The Appalachian. There's 3 or 4 mountains
that are like really.
That are skiable.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Appalachians are.
No, that are skiable. That are really good. That are really good ski mountains. Who?
Appalachians don't go to the.
Yeah, they do.
To Maine?
They go up to Canada.
Tallest mountain in Maine is the last mountain on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh,
Mount Katahdin.
Mount Katahdin?
Mm-hmm.
So people will either start or finish at Mount Katahdin?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's like 5 miles up, 5 miles down. So it's a decently sized mountain.
5 miles
up, 5 miles down.
Like
I think
in
it's
direct altitude?
No,
so
not
it's
no.
25,000
just to get up.
feet. Okay. Oh, okay.
It's a 10-mile trail, then all the way up and down.
Yeah, it's the length of the trail. Yeah. Okay, not the height of them. I was about to say it. It's like.
That's like taller than Mount
Everest.
Everest.
No, Everest is like.
It's like a mile.
30.
30 miles? No, it's not.
No,
I think it's like 30,000 feet.
I think we did.
Yeah,
I think we already determined we suck at geography.
A mile is 5,280 feet. So Everest is 6 miles tall. Is that right? Is Everest 30,000 feet?
Is it fact checker?
Sama Shaikh?
Yeah, our human fact checker is here.
How tall is Everest?
29,000.
Oh, there you go.
Holy, like 4 point something.
Wait, feet.
Inches?
Sama, what are you?
Go climb it right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So our fact checker tells us that Sean's fact was pretty close to the truth.
Woo! Qualified guys, I swear. Okay.
So
I don't know why I'm saying guys. We have like one listener.
And it's not you.
Yeah.
No, sorry though.
nah,
It's true.
you should have more faith in your podcast.
Yeah.
Woo!
I know you're all watching us. All 5 million of you in the future.
We're live streaming in the future.
We'll look back at this as a testament to our day and age.
As a testament to my crimes when I try to become president.
You'll come after him in the campaign.
One day.
Wedding video.
Oh, God.
All right, we've diverged a little bit.
So, you mentioned that you lived in Sweden for a few years of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing you moved back to the U.S. after that.
Yes, I did.
So how was the transition back? And did you go back to Maine or did you go back somewhere else?
So I moved to California, where I'd never lived before, to Palo Alto. That transition was, like, it wasn't easy, but, like, the transition to Sweden was way more difficult. Because I already knew what to kind of expect, moving to, like, California, where I knew not to expect certain things, because like I had expectations. I think when I moved to Sweden, and I don't think like any of those expectations.
So you kind of set your expectations a bit lower, would you say?
Yeah.
What were your expectations going to Sweden? And
good question.
What was the reality?
I don't know if I can remember my expectations.
Yeah. Was it like crazy culture shock? Like I can't even imagine like going to school. I can't even speak the language. That sounds terrifying.
I mean, culture shock's kind of a weird thing, cause like Sweden, like compared to like so many other countries, Sweden's really not that different.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you've been living in two different places for a decent amount of time, there are like all these small little differences. They add up, and so. And a lot of it, too, I think with culture shock is you can't even really explain it. The hardest part about it is you can't explain a lot of the stuff that's different. It's just kind of like a feeling and like it's just kind of there. And like if someone who's been to that country and to both countries or whatever can relate, but it's really hard to like convey the differences. Like, I don't know, a lot of it. Yeah. Like there are specific differences, obviously.
Wait, do they use the metric system?
They do.
That is crazy.
Like every other country except us.
Except for the U.S. It's kind of a little bit weird. Yeah, my sister went to Ecuador on like a month-long trip through Foothill, actually.
Oh, really?
And she got like major culture shock when she first got there. But yeah, I don't think she could like pinpoint. I mean, obviously it's probably more different than Sweden was to hear.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I kind of got that when I went to the Philippines.
She got like physically sick, I think. Like,
oh, really?
She got like a headache, like a migraines or something. It was weird. I think that's like a thing. And there's a little bit of like homesickness too.
Yeah.
Like homesickness, when it gets really bad, you can actually get like physically.
Really?
Kind of like physically ill. Like you'll show symptoms of it. Like you'll be like really tired or like just I think so. But yeah, she said it was like a feeling too.
I noticed too there's like different types of homesickness for like cuz I've traveled quite a bit too for like like last summer I went to Asia for 2 months and when I'm traveling I notice that, like after 2 months I start to miss home. Not like that. This is not like really bad or anything, but like I start to miss certain things about my life at home. Yeah, and it's kind of like you start to like appreciate where you are less than you want because you want to go home so much. I think. But when I like moved to Sweden and then even when I moved here, it took me like I didn't get that until like 2 months. It was around 2 months I think both times I start to like I don't know why.
So you did end up missing Sweden when you came back.
Yeah. No, I mean because I eventually really liked it, but and I'm like so glad I lived there and everything, and I met some really great people. But in the beginning, it was pretty hard.
Sorry.
So you mentioned Asia. You mentioned Asia. What was your Asia trip about? And you want to share something about that trip?
Yeah. So I actually went with a club on Foothill called Fund the Future. And we went to the Philippines for like 2 weeks. It was with the club, and then like 2 weeks we were on our own traveling. And we with the school. We visited actually a microfinance institution in the Philippines. And then we went to a school that was like in the middle of nowhere and helped.
Can you explain microfinance a little bit? I know that's something like you're pretty interested
in. So there's microfinance is basically like financial services that are provided to people in poverty in like developing countries. Whereas microcredit is just small scale loans. So microfinance is kind of like the bigger, broader.
Microcredit's like a subset of microfinance.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of other services like insurance and like actual like services, like counseling or something like that. So microfinance.
There's less
is
barriers to entry for people to get into microfinance versus like regular.
Right.
Finance,
So a lot of
regular
times
insurance.
they don't have like you don't have to have like credit history or whatever like stuff like that or collateral. For the collateral is, their like requirements for collateral are much smaller than a traditional bank. Like the people who get loans from microfinance institutions, most of them wouldn't be able to get loans from a traditional bank.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Collateral is like putting, like if you fail to pay it back, like there's some repercussions. Is that what collateral is, or?
Yeah, there's different kinds. Like sometimes you have to even, I don't know if they call it collateral, but like if you've been living, they require like if you own a home or if you've been renting a home for a long period of time, like that works to show that your credit, you're like worthy to buy a loan.
So it's like
there's different ways of measuring it. Sometimes it is actually if you own a home, like I think that probably makes it easier. But I think you can also have other people sign for you similar to here. But it's much. Yeah.
So you said that you visited a microfinance institution in the Philippines. So what does that institution do, and what did you do when you went there?
So we were just there for a few hours. It's actually kind of it's been around for like almost 25 years, 20 years, 25. So it's a pretty old institution. And it's in the capital of the Philippines, Manila. And it was actually started by like two very powerful guys. One was like the head of GM for the Philippines, and the other guy was, what did he do? I forget what he did. They both had
General
like very
Motors, like GM General.
General Electric. So GE, sorry.
Oh, GE.
GE. Sorry, General Electric.
Cool.
Sorry.
Even bigger.
Even
Yeah, I didn't know
even bigger. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been here too long. Jesus. So they had like very big jobs. They weren't like, it was kind of a unique institution because they had a lot of like. Yeah.
That's good that they did that though. You wouldn't. Like, They probably don't have many incentives to do that, like monetary incentives.
Yeah.
Right? They're probably not making much money from that.
They're not making money.
Yeah. Micro loans? So I've been to like one Fund the Future meeting,
Yeah.
and there was like a Kiva battle, right?
Yeah.
Where they're like, Kiva is like a microfinancing website, right? Where you can micro loan website, right? Where you can loan out small amounts of money to people in these third world countries, right?
So Kiva they're actually not a microfinance institution. They're a platform that gives the money. So you give the money through Kiva to these institutions.
Right?
Yeah.
Because some institutions are a little sketch, right?
Yeah.
They won't always be fair to the people they're giving these loans out to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And these loans are zero interest, right?
No.
So you're not getting paid anything back. When
For
right?
people
through
here.
Kiva at least, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
No.
you just break even, right? So the Fund the Future, when they use those funds, and you loan like $400 or something to like a cattle owner.
So you don't get any interest.
Cow, right? You don't get interest when you pay something
And
back.
I don't think Kiva when they loan the money to the institutions, I don't think they get any interest either. And then the microfinance institutions, they get interest.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them though. So there's different.
There's different, but most of them, and the insurance rate, the interest rates can be pretty high, which is actually kind of interesting. But
really?
Like they can actually be like 60%. Like they're like crazy. It's
like the loaner sharks in the U.S.
Yeah.
So you go to what do you call them?
Banks?
No.
Money lenders?
No.
Brokers.
Auto loans. You have these shops that have auto loans. Payday loans.
Yeah.
Payday loans.
So payday loans are loans that low income people who are living paycheck to paycheck, if something unexpected shows up, they obviously don't have savings that could cover for that. So they go there and they get a small loan of $100 or $200, and then they repay it as soon as they get their next paycheck. But the thing with payday loans is that the interest rates are very steep. Usually above 40%.
Completely screwed over by that.
You can get caught in a debt cycle. That's why a lot of people here are kind of against them. But it's kind of a there's benefits and costs. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Usually because these people don't have much to offer as collateral. So what they do is so the people who lend the money out are called loaner sharks. So they get access to their bank account. If I borrow money, you run the payday loan company. I come to you. I want to borrow $200. I'm gonna give you a check of $200 that's dated for a month from now when I'm supposed to return the money to you. So I give you that check. As soon as that date comes, you can go and get the money back.
Okay.
If I don't come back and if I don't repay you before then, you can just go and cash it in. Otherwise, I'll come back and repay you on the spot, and you give it back to me. So that's kind of how it works.
Collateral. So the collateral is like direct access to even more money in your bank account. Whoa. Yeah.
And then they can come in. I mean, there's been cases of, they take over your car, and then because they can pursue the case in court, saying, they haven't repaid the loan.
Like a contract,
Yeah.
Interesting. That's really cool.
So, bringing that back to you, you haven't told us what your major is and what you plan to do in the future. We've talked about your past. Let's talk about your future.
God, I don't know what I want to do with my future.
You don't have.
So, you don't have a major decided
I do
yet?
have a major, economics. Like Basil.
Why did you choose economics?
So actually out of high school, I wanted to do like foreign policy or international relations. And then I took AP macro and decided I wanted to do macro. Or do econ, sorry. I really loved that class. It just opened up a whole new way about looking at things.
You really get an understanding for how
complex things are.
Yeah, it's a weird.
How complex things are.
It's making really complex things simple so you can understand them.
What was your favorite concept from that class, if you remember? Like, was there anything that was just like super like some case study or something that you're just like, wow, this is a crazy phenomenon?
It was AP, so you don't do any case studies.
Oh, really?
No.
That's how we had a teacher named Phil Lyons, such a good teacher.
Yeah.
Really good teacher. A little blunt at times, but amazing teacher. And he taught his class through case studies. So like every time before the lesson, he would like present an article or like a podcast, even sometimes a video, and he would have like a case study that would read and then like talk about a bit. And then we would like enter and it would like be directly related to class. To what we're doing.
That's cool. Like she'd bring up articles, but it wasn't like, it was for like a few seconds and then it was, that's covered, go to lecture.
Okay. And then you just learn like the abstract concepts?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then like what really confirmed that I like econ was when I took it with Brian Evans.
Who's Brian?
Professor at Foothill.
Oh, so what was so intriguing about him?
I don't know, his class is really, it's because it was very different from the class, my AP, because I took micro first and then I took macro because he told me to take it again, even though I like did the AP and stuff in high school. He's like, take it again because like it's going to be different than high school, and it was very different. I'm so glad I took it.
So you did micro and macro, right?
And global.
So
I've had 3 classes of him.
What was so amazing about Brian?
I think one thing that like I really respect him, he's a very humble person. And so that he really like he earned my respect quite quickly because I think he wasn't the way his arguments and stuff for things were I don't know how to explain it. He wasn't like, he'd have very convincing arguments, but he wasn't I don't even
imposing his views on
he wasn't imposing his views, and he was.
Would he like present the other side too?
Yeah, he would. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious what he thought, but it wasn't like he didn't have a political agenda.
Yeah.
There was no political agenda.
Okay.
And because he would criticize both sides and stuff like that. Yeah.
Probably because he doesn't fit on the political spectrum.
He doesn't fit on that's part. I think that's part of it.
I think a lot of economists don't fit on the political spectrum.
No,
they don't really have to.
No, because they're not part of politics enough, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of Mr. Lyons was telling us, and I definitely believe that after taking the class. I haven't thought about it a lot, but yeah, it seems like if we had economists in office in Congress, we'd get a lot more done, and things would run.
You sound a little bit like Plato, like the philosopher king, the economist king.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, but then again, like the concepts you learn in class are like pure. A lot of it is like pure econ. It just doesn't work in the real world too. Like there's a lot of things that like.
There's a lot of assumptions that economists make that aren't always accurate or true.
Like when we're learning like monetary and fiscal policy. like the effects of those things sometimes are just kind of unknown, right? Like they say like, okay, the government's gonna like buy bonds, right? Which will, what does that do? Does that increase interest rates, decrease?
When they buy bonds,
interest rates.
Yeah, so that injects more money into the public. So that's supposed to speed up the economy a bit, right? Increase real GDP.
Right.
But in reality, does that always? I don't know. I'm just like
it's so
complicated.
It's so
does
complicated.
That actually? Do they know that it's like that'll happen every time? Right?
No.
They don't.
Yeah.
They go
They don't
off
even know if they'll
statistical
do it at
data,
all.
but
yeah,
economists love statistical data. They love hard numbers, but you don't always have that.
Yeah.
So sometimes you kind of.
And you don't always know where that like if you're talking about decreasing interest rates, right?
Yeah, because
like
if you buy bonds, you're injecting money into the public, right? You're buying bonds from the public.
Yeah, you're increasing the money supply.
Yeah, increasing the money supply, which decreases interest rates. Yeah.
But you don't know who's investing. Because like we learned in global too, like it could be foreign investment.
Wait, does that increase? That increases interest rates, right?
Investment.
Or what? Investment in like the government buying bonds. Doesn't that increase interest rates?
It's decrease.
It decreases interest rates.
They're buying bonds and they're giving you money back.
Mm-hmm.
No, increasing supply will give you increasing interest rates.
Yeah, because then it's speeding up the economy.
Supply. Demand, supply. No, it's supply.
I don't know.
What are we talking? Wait, we're talking about
fiscal policy.
Fiscal policy.
No, we're talking about monetary policy.
Monetary policy.
No, that's monetary policy. My bad. Fiscal is like
wait, we're talking about. You're talking about buying or selling bonds?
Buying bonds. The government buying
bonds.
Yeah.
That's increasing the money supply.
I don't even think we need a supply and demand.
No, I do.
Don't think we do.
I'm so visual. I can't.
Oh yeah, you're speeding it.
Are these wrong?
What? Supply and demand. No, that's right. What?
Do the interest rates go down when there's an increase in money supply?
No, but wait.
When the government
no
buys
interest
bonds?
rates go down when there's more money.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh wait.
That's what everyone's saying.
What was I saying? Was I saying they go up?
No, you were saying that. He was saying something else.
Oh, I'm so
wait, you drew the demand curve as a supply curve. I'm pretty sure.
No, demand and supply.
Really?
Fact checker.
Yeah.
I thought if you
demand supply.
Fact checker has passed away.
Buying bonds, you're
as stuff gets more.
So I'm going off. You're buying bonds. The government's injecting money into the public. That's speeding up the economy. And if you're speeding up, when you're speeding up the economy.
Slow down. Go back. Sorry.
So the government's kind of artificially injecting money into the public by buying these bonds, right?
Right.
And then you're speeding up the economy because of that. And when you have a fast economy, aren't the interest rates high?
So you're trying to.
No, they're low. They're
trying to encourage investment. So interest rates are low.
Interest rates are low. But that's to speed up. Yeah, you're right. Interest rates are low. My bad. Yeah. So when you're buying bonds, the interest rates are down. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. There's all these things like it's like a chain of events that happens, right?
That's what's cool about econ too, because it connects everything, but then it just shows how complicated everything is and how little we know about anything. At each step of that
pipeline, like something can like not be adjusted for perfectly, and then it like would go off.
Yeah.
Would diverge.
And then plus our economy isn't isolated from the rest of the world, so then there's that.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember macro being really interesting.
So coming back to this professor, Mr. Evans, I've heard reports that he has very complicated tests and he tries to make people fail.
Oh, have you?
That's what I've heard.
You've really struggled, haven't you, in his class?
I said I've heard reports. I cannot verify the authenticity of these independent reports.
Exposed.
Wait, so what was the question? Is it true or what?
What do you see in your experience
I think he gives very good tests.
Like you really have to understand.
What do you mean by good?
So by good I don't mean easy. I mean he really he really tries to get
our human clock has reminded us that we're running over time. So even
like the most like the students he tries to challenge everyone.
Okay.
So no one will get. I don't think people will get 100% on the test, but he gives you extra credit questions. So no one gets every single question right.
I would beg to disagree.
Okay, not on every test.
So you've got both ends of the stick here. Is that what I'm?
What?
You'd beg to disagree. So you've gotten perfect score.
No, I've heard of people. I've heard of people who have gotten. I can't verify.
But how many
those
tests
reports,
have you gotten perfect scores on?
Have I?
Yes.
Well, that's a subjective question. It's a subjective question, and
it depends on.
It depends on how you define perfect score. You know, for some people, perfect score is getting a B or passing.
No, I mean getting every
That's
single
like the
possible
perfect
point.
score for me.
I mean getting every single possible point.
All right, tangent question.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe in the efficacy of the SAT score, the
No.
standardized tests? Do you think
No.
those are accurate measurement? No, I absolutely.
Absolutely
yeah.
not. Absolutely not.
I
Not
feel
in
like
the
it's a
slightest.
measurement of how much money you can pay for tutoring and how many practice tests you can take before
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a measurement of what you're learning in school.
No,
or
not
how
at
well you
all.
mastered
Not
the
at
theory.
all.
What would you say to the data that shows that people with higher SAT scores do better in college?
I think it's somewhat of a measurement, but I don't think it's a complete measurement. And I think that I think there's also data that there are some people with lower SAT scores that also are very successful.
But you could say there are anomalies.
Possible. So there's data showing that higher SAT scores do better in college or get into better colleges.
Get into better colleges.
Well, that's
do
of
better.
course,
Do better in
that's-
college.
yeah. That's what
They're
the
both
SAT is
similar
for.
things. I mean, if you're getting a good score in the SATs, that means you're ready for college. You're better prepared.
I think
college level
maybe it's like
courses.
a representation of study habits, which might translate to like more success later on in life. Okay, so there actually is a study that was done. You know, like the marshmallow test. If you give a kid a marshmallow and then you tell him, okay, you can eat this now, or you can wait 3 minutes and get 5 more marshmallows.
Yeah.
So it's like resisting temptation, self-control. The kids with higher self-control who wait for those 5 marshmallows, the whole concept of delayed gratification, they actually have better SAT scores. So I think maybe better SAT scores correspond to like those study habits. So kids who can like delay their gratification so that they're successful later on. So I think that's kind of what it correlates with. I don't think it correlates with like actual intelligence or like, I don't even know how you
I think
measure
there's so many
intelligence, but,
things that play into it that it's like I don't even know how you'd measure it.
Yeah.
There's so many little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean definitely like if you take someone on like the broad, like someone with education, someone without like high school education, the person with the high school education is definitely going to do better on the SAT. Most definitely going to do. Like maybe, I don't know. There might be an anomaly, but I think it has to do with like that whole like self-control, delayed gratification. Because like, I don't know.
I think it doesn't even have to do with that. I think it just has to do with your background. If someone grew up in a very disadvantaged community, went to a not so well to do high school, they probably won't do as well on SATs unless they're super smart.
Mm-hmm.
So they just don't know how to take tests. No one taught them how to do it.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
there's a lot of people who are smart, but they just haven't been given the right training, right
The
skills
the right
to.
resources. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, SAT tests are like 5 hours long,
They're so
which is
long.
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
happy I
don't
never
know.
took it.
I think like
You what?
I don't know.
Never
I
took
wonder
it.
if some people don't do better.
You take ACT?
I didn't take any
TOEFL.
of them. Nothing.
No. Oh, really?
He did A levels.
Oh, okay. That's, yeah. Whoa. Not a lot of people do that here. Yeah.
Well, he
No one
wasn't
does. I don't
here.
think anyone does it here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's like a European.
I think there's like
It's
2
English.
schools in the
English,
whole
yeah.
country.
So you went to an English school in Dubai?
British school, yeah.
Whoa. That's cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think it's like because like the more money you have too, like you can get more tutoring and stuff. A lot of it is like just memorizing like the formats of the questions almost. And
Yeah.
the length too, like people are definitely at a disadvantage.
I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know. It's a weird test.
Mm-hmm. It is a weird test. Yeah, and then I think they shortened it, right? So it's like 1,600 now. It's only at a 1,600.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
2400
Yeah.
Anymore. Yeah. I think they took out like a whole section or something.
Oh wow.
They took out like the writing, I think. They still have an essay, but they took out like the writing question section, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what they
I
took
remember
out.
there's just like obscure vocabulary that like
You would
no
never
one
use
uses.
it.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, what are you doing?
I always see words, I'm like, that's an SAT word. Like,
Yeah.
well, not always, but I'll see it like online somewhere. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember that from SAT. Like the only reason I know that is because I studied for it for the SAT.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things like that. Yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
like the experimental section. Do you remember that? There's like an experimental section, like they put it randomly in the test, and it's just
Oh,
like a
yeah,
way to see
you're
if,
not-
like,
Yeah, they test new. That's how they
next,
test.
yeah,
for
and they don't
next-
tell you which one it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember mine was like clear, like it was clearly the experimental
Really?
one. It was just like the questions were formatted completely different. It
So
wasn't like
did
fill in the
you
blank.
just opt out?
No, I didn't want to risk it, but it was like really hard. And I was like, crap, if that wasn't the experimental section, like I'm definitely not going to do well in that. But yeah.
The year I was preparing to do the SAT was the last year for the old SAT.
Oh.
So I was gonna take the last SAT.
That was our year.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So he was
I
our
thought it was
year.
more recent.
No, it was our year.
No. That was the last year of... So 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So after summer 2015, they changed it to the new one.
The 1600 one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Maybe it was 2 years after us.
I think it was 2 years.
It was 2 years after us. Yeah.
And so you just prepared for it, but you didn't actually end up.
I was planning on taking it, but then I was like, no, I don't
really
need it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since I was coming to community college, I was like,
Got into a great school. So that just goes to show. Yeah.
Cities don't matter much.
All right, I want to cover
So now
one more thing before.
Oh, I was just playing devil's
Oh,
advocate.
I know you were. I know.
Yeah,
I know
I
you
was
were.
pushing back.
I know you were.
Yeah.
Typical Basil.
Basil, loves the devil's advocate.
You never know where
he
you're
and I are buds. You know, we go hang out a lot. Me and the devil's advocate.
You are the devil's advocate.
Or am I?
You are the
Black
devil.
Swan. Look in the mirror. Oh my gosh. He's your advocate. You're the devil. Oh,
What is all this
you guys
melodrama?
comprise the devil's advocate. I want to hear about the summer camp that you told me about a while ago. You said that one of your friends was like depressed going into it, and she got like significantly better after this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So it's an outdoor tripping camp. It's been around for like almost 100 years, I think. So it's an old
tripping?
camp. Yeah, outdoor tripping. So, what does tripping mean?
Tripping.
Tripping, yeah.
Let's define that.
So you just
clarify that a little bit.
Yeah. No, going out like trips, like outdoor excursions.
Going on trips.
Yeah.
Okay.
That still doesn't clarify too much.
Okay, from like 8th grade. So the girls are like age 8 to 16, and there's like about 200, 300 girls in camp or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like separated into little cabins of 10 or 12. So you have your group of, and they're like in your age group. And they all have like, their own like Cherokee or like their Native American names, each cabin, or Mohawk or whatever. And it's on a lake too, which is really nice. And so basically, like one of the things is like, training, like outdoor excursions, so you learn more about nature, but also like group, working with groups and like team building, a lot of team building stuff, because that's like really important when you're going on like especially like a long trip. And like for the little kids, it's like just getting over homesickness and stuff like that.
How long is this camp?
So for like there's like one version that's like 10 days for the little like 8-year-old, and they all get homesick. Every single one of them got homesick. Like,
I mean, they're so young.
They're so cute.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks for most people, for everyone else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there's 2 sessions, or 3.5 weeks actually. And so you eventually lead up, like the 8-year-olds go camping for one night, and a lot of them never been camping, and then the 16-year-olds do the last like 110 miles of the Appalachian Trail. They hike Katahdin.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, that's what they finish with,
110
Katahdin.
miles. Yeah, that's actually a lot.
Yeah.
So did this have anything to do with the alternative education?
Actually, we went there during the school year, but no, it's not. It's separate. But a lot of their, like I say, a lot of the values kind of overlap.
Yeah, and you were talking about how it's like isolated and how it's like a nice break from all these stimuli.
So the camp is separate. Like the camp is on the lake. There's not really much around it.
Of nature,
it's not it's in the middle of nature. It's not in the middle of.
No.
I guess for here it would be considered the middle of nowhere, but like it's not really. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then when you go out on your trips, a lot of times you're in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you don't,
And you're doing like a lot of tough things with like your cabin, right? So would you say like doing those tough acts together like kind of strengthens those bonds? And, like,
definitely.
Yeah. And your friend that you were referring to, like the depressed friend that went into it, do you think like, do you like know like how like what her mindset was like leaving the camp? Like how did it help her? Do you happen to know?
I don't know.
I
So we were actually. Really cool. So we were both like intern counselors, even though we did the exact same thing as everyone else, because we were 16 when we were counselors.
Okay. Intern counselors.
Yeah. And she, we were both in separate cabins, so I wasn't with her most of the time.
Oh, okay.
And we were both with. I think being with younger kids was probably helpful, and I think a big part, like just even being a counselor, like you forget about your own worries because you're worrying about other things. And it's a full time like job. Like you're up at 7 a.m. and you're working all day, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But it's like it exhausting, but a lot of fun.
Probably really rewarding too.
Yeah, it's
like
really
when you're
rewarding.
mentoring little kids.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, and I think just it's rewarding, and it gives you a different perspective, I think, because you're not focused on when you're a counselor too. You're not focused on yourself. You're focused on like girls are getting in fights and stuff like that. And you're working that out, and people are scared of doing certain activities, and you have to work with them to like try to get them to help them overcome that and stuff like that.
And it seems like you really have a role in this community, especially when you guys are like counselors or something. Like you have like a defined role and like a defined job. I think, like, at least for me, like some of the times when I was like my lowest was like the times I felt like disconnected from my community.
Yeah.
So it seems like that sense of community is like
you
really
have your cabin
integral.
bonding. It's like
that's awesome.
Yeah.
This
like,
was in Maine, right?
Yeah, this was in Maine. Yeah. Like every night you sit in a circle and you like say something you're grateful for and something you look for. I don't remember exactly what it was. But something you're grateful for or something you liked about the day and like something.
Yeah.
That was like something that was challenging too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was cool.
Okay, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
The human clock has been reminding us again and again that we've been going over time.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
This has been
Owlcast episode 10 with Sonia Backstrom, hosted by myself and Basil. Thank you. Thanks, Sonia.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia, for coming, and thank you, human clock / human fact checker.
Oh yeah, thank you,
Sama.
Shaik.
Shaik.